keep it 100. There you go.
The major disrespect on this city.
Keep it 100. No, 4 lines, but those 4 lines was the least struggle. Nobody.
Hakuna cha subliminal hapa, sio kwa particular. What you wish you are is what we are. Kila mara kushock the culture, jadish how deep you are, how sick you are.
Karibu sana kwa sana album reviews. Shukran sana for being here with us and spending your time na sisi. Tuna hope utakaa hapa ili tumalize hii shughuli iliyotuleta hapa, shughuli ambayo imefanya tukatangamana wakati huu. Shukran sana for being here for another album review. Karibu sana to the channel kama ni mara yako ya kwanza. And if you are a returning viewer ama subscriber, asante for the continued support that umetupatia. So as the video inasema kwenye title, this is something that tunafanya mara nyingine kwa sababu some individuals atutasema wata express hizo hisia. Part 1 of this review is out. It's available. At the time of this recording, not, but at the time of this recording, at the time of this release of the video, kazi imetoka, too many albums and too many reviews. So unaweza anza na yenye una feel. Tuko hapa kufanya Invisible Currency by the one and only, the OG Papa Jones, their father, your daddy. Album yake inayofuata Testimony 1990 ya 2018. This is a 2022 release and a full-length a full-length album from Khaligraph Jones that tuko about to review. Watasema mbona kuko kwa part 1 na waji explain, lakini pia kwa ujiona part 1 to you this is irrelevant. Anyway, Abe, this is your moment.
Papa Jones!
The reason tumefanya this part 2, tulishaongelea sana na irauka a lot, but when we did our projections kuhusu hii album in November 7th November to be specific of 2021, nilikuwa na Abe kwa the live session on Instagram. Tukaongelea vile itakuwa projections, tukaongelea the artwork, tukaongelea the artwork na what we thought the songs would be about na vile album itakuwa na our levels expectations. Then imekam full circle that tuko hapa na Abe kuizungumzia na Roger pia mwenye time to time he ghostwrites for people, so kusikia from a pandit katika uandishi pia si mbaya, na pia lover of Kenyan hip hop.
Rolling Stones.
Abe, take us through
Papa Jones, respect. We can talk about the stats by the way. As of the time of recording. Yeah.
And go ahead.
Ako amesurpass 1 million streams on Boomplay.
Actually, because I wanted to confirm umefika ngapi, because last Sunday ilikuwa 970 ama 990k. I was sure atafika hiyo meter.
Yeah, so the reason siko hapa last week, by the way, this was last week, but the reason I wasn't here for the first review is because, man, the album was only available on Boomplay, and we don't stream music like that, because Boomplay is the ghetto. Kaka ulikuwa na any chance ya kuwa na endorsement na Boomplay?
The views expressed. The views zake.
I was telling God that I had to listen to the album on Boomplay like niggas in Kenya.
Yeah. Ulizusha mbaya hiyo story ya Boomplay.
Man, I was on Spotify nilikuwa natafuta the album. I said, what's going on? Kodo akaniambia iko Boomplay. Wow. I had to go back listening to music with ads.
Kama tumetafuta app.
Yeah. Anyway, but do Boomplay, in case Moraku like unajua wako sana kwa sana, the views expressed on this video are codos, but I'm available. We had this conversation in November about our expectations, and nakumbuka what I said was what we would expect was there was not going to be any major theme. Nakumbuka I was nilikuwa not disgusted. I didn't like the cover. It felt pretty basic to me at the time of the release of your album cover and track list.
So nasema Abe ameni preempt. Abe amesema based on the artwork, nope.
Nilikuwa like shirtless guy and a point alafu kuna dollar signs nyuma, nilikuwa like okay, this is not going to be interesting, but it's Khaligraph, so let's see. But I was excited for kulikuwa na ska feature, alafu kulikuwa na the Dax feature as well. At that point, I said I was going to start with the ska feature because I didn't really expect anything like the album to follow a particular theme in terms of sequencing, so it wouldn't have to start with my favorite. And nakumbuka we even had this discussion whether is it a good thing to release the track list with the features and all that, and does it hurt the project? Anyway, so when the album finally came to Spotify,
nakumbuka pia uko excited about the project.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Generally,
I wasn't, because I don't think he is an album artist. Well, I didn't think he was an album artist. Do I think he is? Wait to find out. Anyway, so I'll start with the album. So Invisible Currency. The first listen, I tried to understand, okay, what does it mean? Nilifuata, like I nilienda track by track from, I didn't start with the features that I was excited for. Nilianza track 1 to the end. Maybe it was a Boomplay effect. I didn't enjoy it. Then nikasikia tena. But it wasn't Boomplay. But on my second listen, so nikajaribu, I tried giving him the benefit of the doubt, but so I thought, well, maybe Invisible Currency is prayer, because anaongelea kuna a lot of religious themes hapo, and I thank God, sijui kuna maombi ya mother nini. Alafu nikasikiza the title track, which is Invisible Currency. Alafu towards the end anaongelea something to do with work ethic. So nikafikiria maybe the invisible, at first I thought Invisible Currency is prayer, alafu the whole God thing. Alafu second listen nikafikiria maybe he talks about the work ethic. Alafu kana the first track anaongelea hiyo well, kuna a lot of boasting and unajua like yeah, I'm the shit kind of talk. Alafu okay, to the last album, to the last track, ana detail his whole story for the 15 years in the game. So nikajaribu kutie, okay, maybe it comes full circle, work ethic yake. But even if that was the case, then assuming that's what he was going for, that was my review, I would have hoped kusikiza more of his story in between the albums. I mean, in between the first and the last song, I'd have liked to hear more of the story. The parts where alikuwa talk about his story, like when he was young, growing up, anatuambia everything about him, I liked those songs, and I had hoped that nilikuwa disappointed because why didn't you explore more of this? Because this is a side of you that we wanted to hear. But then in between kulikuwa na a lot of this talk that is not factual. Najua I'm the best in East, West and South Africa. No, you're not. You might be the biggest, but you're not the best. I don't think he is. Najua like ana challenge American rappers. I was like, I mean, yeah, to each their own. But yeah, it didn't I didn't like that. Alafu akamention Sakodi na Sakodi. Niko na very interesting.
Never. Relationship na Sakodi.
Alisema apart from Nasty C, Sakodi, nikasema what?
Alisema satatu.
Niko like, bro, I don't Nasty C, I don't think ni rapper anymore. But and
alisema Casper.
Hapana nisikia. Alisema Nasty C, Sakodi na nini. So yeah, aliongelea hizo vitu. Kulikuwa na a lot of this talk where telling people too bragging anyway, really. It's typical like braggadocio flow, and the writing was pretty basic, and I feel like that's why that's what works for him, because he makes rap easily consumable even to the listener mwenye yuko so into the like, because the lines, kuna the corny lines, kuna the basic rhyme schemes. I found it very basic for the caliber of artist he is. Ilikuwa too simple. I would have hoped angenge into like more schemes, because when like what the worst part is before the release of the album, the guy I have an announcement, special announcement coming. Of course we know it's the album that dropped, but let's hear what he has to say. It's like unlike anything you've had before.
Oh, the announcement of it.
Yeah, like so July wanasema the announcement was like the album is coming. It's like unlike anything you had before. You know, like I think
the announcement
No. Alafu I think pia kwa the album in itself kuna part anasema we're bringing hip hop back. I'm like, you though, you know. So I don't mind artists who just talk their shit, but then the moment you claim the throne, you claim to be the best, then we're judging you by that standard. And if that's anything to go by, this album had the potential to tell a different side of Khaligraph, but I didn't feel like it did. I would have
the promo didn't work.
Yeah, the promo it worked because people were on the stream. Because people are on the stream anyway, so you got a million streams, so it did work. Guys were excited, but it's Khaligraph anyway, so of course people would listen to the album. So kulikuwa na a missed opportunity hapo. As for the individual songs, I don't feel like kuna hii hiyo ngoma na Prince Ida inaitwa nini?
No, Prince Inda.
Yeah, Prince Inda.
Ateri Dala.
Yeah, Ateri Dala, that's the only notable feature nilipenda. I feel like Khaligraph shouldn't have been on the song. Aliharibu hiyo ngoma. I don't know, honestly, he didn't deserve a rap verse. But I mean, alikuwa hapo, so what can we do? Nilipenda I'm on the Move actually. The chorus ilikuwa very catchy. Alafu Maombi ya Mama, of course, I liked you when he gets into his story and all that. The standout feature for me, other than Prince Inda, ilikuwa Came the Topic. I'd never heard of him before this, but nilipenda venye aliride hiyo beat na alikuwa na sound. That was okay. Major. That was a terrible verse.
The goat. How dare you?
Kama but anyway, I mean, alisema anafanya features for free, so I don't think that's what you get for free verses.
Very disrespectful.
You look terrible, man. And switching lingos and all that. Let me switch my lingo. I think this guy is just having too much fun. I don't like Dax. Well, I don't listen to Dax a lot, and nothing about that feature ingenifanya niende nimsikize. Alafu Ska, I don't know how to feel about that. Ilikuwa a waste of 6 minutes. I feel like the potential these guys have, they could do more with that 6 minutes. All you know, sijui kada nimeongelea everything else. I feel like kuna more kusema, but itakam to kulikuwa na hiyo ngoma yenye alianza. I just at first listen nilisikumaliza hii ngoma. I think it's a dream.
Bad dream.
It's a bad dream. Kwanza the image was very cringe. But the first time sikusikiza, I didn't finish the song, and I go back, I had this conversation with my cousin. Nikamwambia, my intuition it's a dream, unaona. But then nafika kwa Omolo nikasema, you're not about that life. Wewe usifanye kitu tena, ushatoka unacheki. Alafu ilikuwa pandemic, sasa nilikuwa najiuliza, wewe si ndio ulikuwa unaitisha Ruto afungue nchi, alafu unataka kurob ni, but then nikikani hit. So when I finally got finishing the song, ilikuwa a dream. Nilikuwa very disappointed because unaona sasa hakuna the capability of telling such stories, but anaamua tu kuweka as a dream. Tuambie story yako man, but which I feel like you will have done more. All in all, I don't know how to. I'm not disappointed because this is exactly what I expected the album to be. So I'm not like but after listening to the album and knowing what Kali can do, I would hope that we get an album that's worthy of the best rapper in East, West, and South of Africa, and challenging all the Americans and some Americans. So you never know, kuna Australians who might be better and Asians. But yeah, I don't know. It's exactly what I expected it to be. The only disappointment ilikuwa in Ska, na I don't know mbona Ska man. Ska of late ajakuwa unajua but you're still my favorite. I hope bado kuna album ina come later this year because
Ska telepatia #is on January 7th.
Man,
to the review album. Check that review out.
Man, I hope kuna something else coming from Ska, but yeah, other than that, ilikuwa exactly what it was. I don't get the hype yet, but there are some songs like individually the songs kuna like they sound good. Khaligraph sounds good. Hiyo ni kitu we can't refute. Like anajua the way he sounds in our cadence yake, his flows. Alafu the production as well works for him, and as for the production, by the big shout out to Vince. Yeah, it sounded good. So I wasn't sick one as Jakodu and Roger were talking about the drums and the and the horns and the flutes and the jazz undertones and the harmonies, how they sing. To create cohesion too, but my earphones, the speaker and headphones ilikuwa tu fit. So
Roger, prove this man right or wrong. It's up to you. Let me utuambie, is it America the world? The man that's with any American can fuck with him, but America is the world. So Roger, tell us about Invisible Currency and your love for Kenyan hip hop. When are the OG mlipatana wapi kwa hii album?
And how he inspires you?
Album of the year. Class.
As usual. You said this pia kuhusu Chris Tiger. Okay.
I respect.
Which is which? Decide. Ama
kuna albums of the year.
mbili. For sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ama ni hip hop of the year.
No.
Hapo yeah. Kadhaa. Gross ongea.
Points.
I was expecting that from Africa. Good job. Mopa.
I respect the OG.
Good job. I like how it started with Invisible Currency. The way it started, I was expecting a more introspective project, especially with how the song ended with the vocals. That was a really nice touch. But then, lo and behold, we skipped to the quintessential Jesus battle. It's like, where does that come from? It's like, okay. Yeah, you know, unajua mse mwenye like, okay, do you usually go to church?
Yeah, I used to at some point.
Alright, so let me take you back to those days, yeah, when you had a strong relationship with the Savior. When I'm when I church, he doesn't really say much, but he goes missing for about a year or so, and he comes back and he has a car and he has a good wife and everything, and he can't keep quiet about how good the Lord is. part time will come sort of a God acquire ever make into the conversation. That's how the album sounds. Because everywhere you turn, it's hey, oh God himself, man. You know, Chiki, yeah. Like, engineering is all I need. Okay, it's like okay. Then, it's like okay, so. But before to the story of God, oh gee,
I'll kill you.
They call me Ikechuku, rather Safi. And then today I had to make a God waiting for long. So track 7 actually to really call God to show story of prayers and stuff. Kukosa, yes, let's go back, yeah. Party life. Kamnyweso. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. There you go.
The major disrespect on this city.
Keep it 100. No, 4 lines, but in those 4 lines, once the least track, nobody.
Actually, more than 4.
The more than 4.
Many more than
Hata alikuwa na struggle. Alistruggle. I wish tungeplay hiyo ngoma sahi, but
because when he switches back to his lingo,
and I saw there
ni more than
alikuwa na struggle.
No, at the start, because it's 4 lines and then he switches and then he comes back later on. It's actually interesting. From this thing is full of features. I just couldn't notice. From Ateridala, which is track 5, all the way through, I did track 13.
Adasa, Major.
Features. Prince Inda, Blackway, Adasa, Major, Alikiba, Kev the Topics, Cam Cardinali, Zinnia, Rude Boy, and then Bad Dreams. Yeah, I don't mean notice side. And then Bad Dreams is like, it's like, how that song explains where Khaligraph holds his fans, because he had to state that it was a bad dream after clearly show ameamka. Because he actually says it. He literally says it.
Play your part.
It was a dream. Just a dream.
Yeah, play your part.
And then immediately says that, I was like,
of course he was.
And then he's gone and he says, what the fuck was that? And I was like, communicating. Because I listened to I found a more and I was like, what the fuck? And then he's like, what the fuck was that? Good. And then even how he dies doesn't make sense. Because when just Kotumbo, and I'm just like just idea, and then I still must do, and then I shoot you mountain, and then it's like the Nigerian death scenes. But and I do it with Chuku, so it makes sense. It's bringing it home. It's the reason, man. So it's like, you shot me.
I didn't look very discreet. I don't think dreams work like that.
Yeah.
You can't get that detail. This is how dreams work, yeah? You unafungua mlango ya hao, unajipata stadium. Bado ba ingie uko concert, next thing you know, unauza njugu.
You never you never start a dream at the start. Inakupatanga tu.
You just find yourself in the middle of a dream.
Hey, hapo maana amerauka. Akapitia ni Jonte sana, akapitia
nani? Njoro,
akapitia Njoro naye
kumtolea form. Njoro ni snitch.
Nini? Okay. But yeah,
dream.
What the fuck? It was funny. That was funny. That's what that was. It was hilarious. Yeah, template, yeah. Nilikuambia. Yeah, Hiroshima.
Tell us about the balls.
It's the same thing he did with
Adi umeruka fevua, pamoja tutamaliza na hiyo.
Flea.
Flea? Who would flee?
Nimesema nimeruka favorite game.
Scam Cardinal.
Scam Cardinal niko mbele, tsunamis after in a piece. I don't know, I think first of all, unnecessarily, it's too long. It's too goddamn long. 17 minutes it's too much.
17 songs.
Oh, 17 songs is just too much. Kuna some features that don't add nothing to the project. I agree with you what you said with Prince Inda. I don't know, I keep saying Prince Ida, but Prince Inda was really nice. I just hated the fact that it was a typical love song, but I can buy an issue. I did like in a piece with kept the topic as well. I felt haku capitalize on ability ya Zinia, because knowing what she can do or what she can bring to a song and just having her relegated to a chorus, and as a kind of the hype man, she says there Rude Boy, I felt it's like, because anyway, for like it's so weird, because when I go in a piece, it's kind of introspective with especially if I say kept the topic, and then you go to Tsunami, Bragadosho, and then you go to How We Do, Bragadosho. Okay, fine, right for you, lovey-dovey, like what the hell, and then all of a sudden for Bad Dreams, it's like Minga happened, and then Flee, and then Hiroshima, Bragadosho, the whole machine gun rap and everything. I did not like Dax. There's one bar he says where he kind of references Marvel and DC, but I've had that reference so many times, but he says it because he's come up with something new. So
for my new fans in Africa who probably don't listen to hip hop,
probably don't know
Marvel.
They probably don't have theaters out there, the motherland.
Yeah, let me try and use big words.
The collab they've been waiting.
Yeah, the Kali Chronicles, I enjoyed it. I really did. Kind of see the whole thing, but I think it was a challenge for him. Kuandika Kali Chronicles. You know what the challenge was? You know the challenge was? Picking one song from each year, knowing how many releases he has. Yeah, because kila mwaka anasema release moja. That must have been a challenge. Because like at the end probably even hit man. I should calm it down. But yeah,
also the Alikiba was a waste of a collab.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it was Alikiba. I didn't even notice it was Alikiba. You mean it's a nguvu? So that's me, isn't it? The monk that's my collab.
I spend how much, man? Because these are not just like okay, not A-list, but these are like big artists.
Or maybe that's why I was listening to some of the songs.
Alikiba na Rude Boy especially.
Yeah.
Alikiba, Rude Boy, Dax, Car.
Nah, Scars need 50k too.
50k, just.
He just did that with me.
No, but yeah, it's Khaligraph. I think he can afford it. It reminds me of the story anime. Yeah, the economy podcast where he says the story of when Khaligraph ameenda kushoot kwa either sides wa Masai, and then they pull up with like bikes, that you're trespassing and everything. And so they ask him for 300,000, what they leave and then I shoot. Like, so he had to negotiate on the side. Yeah, fortunately he managed to talk him down to 20k. And like, yo, it's a whole OG, man.
Who told the story?
Zach. Yeah. There. Yo, Mwafrika, mpasi come through, plug kwa channel, yeah, say, 2 hour 400. subscribers that you probably have thousands more, but still, everyone counts. Everyone counts. But anyway, the whole invisible currency, how it started, and when it went to All I Need, and again, it's not a bad song, especially with the choirs. You're all I need. It was really nice. Kind of gave me like a maybe Kat Franken keep planning. But yeah, I figured invisible currency is referring to God. You know, mercy is the God and everything. You know, it made sense with the whole album cover. The fact that dollars go at the background and he's looking up to God as the main whatever. I figured that's what he was referring to with invisible currency. But then invisible currency can also be
I think irauka ni sawa kama hiyo, but it's too scattered.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. For 17 songs.
Hiyo to God na power yake kwa life yake.
Yeah, it's 17 songs.
Just
to have that for like
scratch.
4 songs. Okay. Yeah. So, but then again, going back to what I think you mentioned it, the fact that how you know, rappers will like have, or mainstream artists will have different songs, like who touch on different genres, who try and increase. Because if you play one song, that counts as a stream. Yeah. So coming and say sound yangu leans more towards Kamnyweso. If I come into touches like Kamnyweso, that's a stream. If my sound is leaning more to the Ikechuku and the Afrobeat type of style. So yeah, nilipenda Skimia Rada Safi. I think the fact that he maintained it from start to end, from start to end, it was
the album classic.
Album classic.
So with he maintained until the end, it shows a bit of technical acumen.
Iska. Kama nakumbuka nilionyeshwa.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, yo, the punchlines in this.
We need a breakdown here.
Really bad, really bad. Really bad. Scam Cardinali, of course, lazima taje story ya super.
Oh,
Has to. Rude Boy, of course, he has to tie into his past songs. It's the highlight for me was the instrumentation. The highlight for me was the instrumentation, especially the guitars. Whoever added the guitars, especially the lead guitars, were really perfectly added at the right time, in the right way. Ilikuwa a bit of reprieve from the. While yes, he does have he does have a good tone and he can flow, but as far as writing goes, it's still the same thing that he's been saying all year round. I did appreciate the more introspective stuff. Like Mombiza Mother.
Mombiza
Mama. I did enjoy the currency. I did not like All I Need because it felt like as kissing God, which I don't get it. But that's just a personal whatever. And I also enjoyed the Kali Chronicles. But to have those four, 5 songs where he's a bit introspective, sandwiched between 12 others, typical braggadocio or party vibes, was disappointing for someone who has been in the industry as long as he has. As long as he has, for the number of songs that he has. Imagine yourself on a ngoma because it's like in every 2 weeks, and then album bado iko na ngoma 17.
Na 15 years ni half his life.
Yeah.
Ana rack up views bado unajua.
Album iko na ngoma 17 na bado ngoma daily videos zitakaa pia. Nikushoi because of how he's approached it, I don't think it will have a long shelf life. So by maybe because of elections and stuff, on like a lot, but end of year maybe he'll focus on videos for the album, and then next year to do the same old a song every other week. It's
but what I don't think any, from what nimesikia, there's only a few songs up when you the video. Other than Dax song didn't really need the video.
Yeah, gonna video, yeah.
Yeah, but what on the video?
Yes.
Like why?
Yeah.
Like a lyric video with just
Hizo videos za kucombine
Two different
because I
locations.
just saw the thumbnail na jua Dax peke yake.
So
Yeah, you can see it's two different videos because Dax, the lighting is even different. The lighting it's brighter.
and there's no problem. I don't mind it being two different locations. That's okay.
Oh.
But then
Make it
why? There's no. It's just Khaligraph standing on the top of a hill.
two flags.
Two flags and then girls.
One flag is Kenya and the other is America.
Alafu
Then there was a black couch, but then in the next scene the black couch is on fire. So I'm like, is that like to represent Hiroshima? So
Alafu Dax again.
It blew it up like Japan.
But yeah, I didn't expect me to deep because with the amount of work that he puts out, it's very difficult. Again, going back to what we always say, it harms him lyrically. It harms him to hakuna venye unaweza kaa chini, sit down, come up with a concept and actually see it. The whole invisible currency thing, while I'm not for it with the whole God thing, it could have been an intriguing listen if it was more precise and more cohesive and kind of just narrowed down and more focused. If you wanna put out a compilation album which this feels more like it, that's cool. But then the introspective pieces, they get lost in the noise. And I feel, but and then again, do people really wanna hear Pauline talk? It's not a scare. Major people wanna.
Kusikia Major na kamnyoso.
Keep it
No,
100.
just stop. When you claim the throne, when you claim the best, then this alafu we go beyond Africa. So that means now you're saying an American. So there's a level somewhere, the top of the top dogs and all. I don't know. See, una compare yourself to. You have to start acting like one. Then, well, you act like one, but the music doesn't really do that. But then, the interesting fact where if people like it, then you're doing it right.
Anyway,
The numbers are there to prove.
The streams speak.
The streams speak. The shows, whenever he goes to shows, I say go crazy.
No, he trusts when it comes to writing hits.
Ngoma zake sing along.
Yeah. When it comes to writing hits, there is no debate. But when it comes to putting out,
A body of work.
well thought out projects, then do artists even really care about executive producers who kind of control the larger picture?
Najua some have,
But I think
but
yes,
see how they approach
yeah.
the executive producing,
Yeah.
see how they sit and talk, your flow, your project. Similar to idea ya wasanii kukuwa na listening party, hata away from what we just reviewed, the idea itself, you're hosting people, ni kama hakuna anything much that happens that it build the project further than what it is. Sometimes when share videos, ama some media personalities, or I'll listen to a new project by this artist. Kuna album review, kuna someone who said alikuwa amekaa with that project, alikuwa part of the team months before itoke, and alikuwa proud that alikuwa part of that team. But you listen to the project na najiuliza what did you do kwa hii project, mbona
I saw it.
Mbona mkukaa na
twins ndio alikuwa yeah.
Mbona mkukaa na nitakwambia mbona mkukaa
ban all
na mkafanya something that ingesaidia project ikuwe better than it is. Na it goes back to what tulisema with it for me it goes back to what tumeongelea na watu kupeana feedback na watu kuwa honest na wasanii kureceive feedback, and also depends on the team that you have. Kama team yako itakwambia hey, kazi imeweza tuwe kazi bila kukupatia feedback ya kusaidia. Sijui kama notice kenye nilikwambia tukiwa folk fusion that if niliambia Rauka if Khaligraph is to do something different musically itakuwa inclusion ya guitars. Unakumbuka? Yeah, before to scare.
Yeah, that's
before to scare the album.
You know, they're bringing hip hop back.
Yeah,
so like anything we've had.
And then nasikia story ya huku wa invested in artist stories na kuda kusikia the Cali Chronicles and hizo stories za budake kudanya diabetes na safari walipitia. Listening to songs za Khaligraph outside of hizo the braggadocio songs, ukisikia testimony 1990 kitu siku mention kwa the other review ni I think Khaligraph only has one story and I shall tell
the whole suffering thing.
Yeah, from suffering to success.
Yes,
and
yeah.
Like
I said, it's the story of
that's literally that was testimony 1990.
Yeah, see,
and that's this album too.
Untold testimonies that like juicy tulikuwa na shida.
Yeah, that's the trope. Na nafeel shy tell. So unless kuna something else that aja tell na I make compelling.
Yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't even have to be just your come up story. Like you find something and just go with it.
Then I say it can be something that I tap into.
I was actually
your story, your trajectory from suffering to making it and being one of the biggest rappers. I mean, tell mara nyingi sana.
I was actually interested.
I feel that's the story I can tell.
In Bad Dreams, until Nika realize it's going tended down the composition route.
That's exactly what I said. When that song Iliisha, it felt like those high school compositions.
Yes.
He lost me at pandemic. Yeah, this is recent. Lakuna when you did this.
Like, yeah. But
Na kafi ni 10.
This is the dream. Yeah,
but yeah, it was the story was intriguing because I mean it's a whole typical thing, but I was still interested to find out where is this going up until Nika realized it's going to be a dream. But yeah, but your story doesn't have to be you. I think you're going to do most Kenyan artists don't get.
But unajua ni aje? That needs time.
15 years not enough.
Na nasema unaanga what we say about wasanii kukua lazy.
Yeah.
Kenyan artists, a majority, only can and only talk about themselves. Ninakwanga I. So telling other stories demand a lot of work. You're crafting compelling stories, not thinking about other things outside of yourself. You tell is a story.
You know what you should do?
Might rarely happen.
You have to read. You have to actually pay an interest in things happening around you.
Because storytelling involves some
you don't even actually have to
read.
Like you don't have to be an avid reader.
No, it's not avid reader, but you have to, because reading or watching film, it allows you to know how to tell a story that has absolutely nothing to do with you and make you feel as if it has everything to do with you. It's whatever. I don't know.
You know
comfort.
What he can do now?
What works for him at the moment is working for him. So why would he change it?
Yeah.
But what I would do right now, so you have the #1 album in the country, Sindio.
This is the #1 album in the country.
Yeah. I think so.
Which is the number one? It's not the album.
I mean, break records like crazy.
This numbers.
So you have the #1 album, you've shattered all the records. Now let people miss you. Take this time. And I know it's difficult, that's what I'm saying. Eh? No, the shows now, you tour, but take time off, like who scarce. Ni ngumu for him at this point, especially for what he's done.
He said he's on track.
Yeah. But right now, what he can just do is, like this album, it is amnesia for the next 2 years. Atafanya shows. Umse bado anafanyanga ngoma, anaendanga kwa show na naimba ngoma zake za
15.
That's the whole point. Yes. And then isn't it, this is Khaligraph making appearances to perform. So this is cool.
Yes, he does kwa shows, he does.
And these songs, hit songs.
But for ye kupata hizo shows has more to do with the current hit. So for example, Punguza Kasheshe. So if Punguza Kasheshe is hot right now, you'll get a show. And while you are there, you can't just do Punguza Kasheshe.
You do other songs.
So you'll do your old songs. But as soon as ukitoka stage, kenye itabaki kwa kinyangu ni Punguza Kasheshe, because that's what is hot right now.
But
because
you don't think this album has songs that people can sing to?
No, for 2 years, nah.
No, okay, maybe 2 years is a stretch, but like he doesn't, well he will, but he doesn't have to give us like another tuambie see you all next year. And
for next year, yes, because we already
almost half.
But also start touring there. But what is touring?
But touring when maybe Kenya.
Unacheki, so ni nani LD anarudi, like it's a 40-minute flight or less.
Yeah, so yeah, for the 6 months, yeah, but for 2 years, nah.
But I feel, because it's very unfortunate that for a person who's dominated, like who's been referred to as the best Kenyan rapper for all these years, to have nothing to show for it. Naini is the unfortunate case for
Artistically.
Yeah?
Show for it artistically.
Like a project. Like this. Like we can't look at like 2050 people will still say, hey, this album lives on. It's classic. It stands the test of time. And that's the unfortunate thing. And the sad part is, you can say that for many of the so-called best rappers
globally
in Kenya.
You can or you can't.
You can't say that. You can't say that for all of this like top rappers. Like there's nothing to show for it. Like your album has a lifespan of
2 months
until your next project. Until the next one thing.
Before I was going through the track list, and I think in terms of like typical hits, maybe 4.
Yeah, okay.
4.
Kamnyeso,
Ikechuku, Rada Safi, because of the whole Rada Safi thing.
But Rada Safi is too hip hop.
Yeah, okay.
I think whether scheming and the rapping, maybe the sound because it's Afro pop.
Yeah, because it's Afro pop. Rada Safi, Kamnyeso. If you're pushing it, Tsunami, because of Ska.
I don't think that's not something you perform. You see,
performance wise, yeah.
Prince Ida Nick too, but for Khaligraph and how he performs, I don't think it all.
Yeah.
But anaweza tumia tu nini hooks zake on performance.
4
performances.
Out of 17 songs.
Again, regarding story yake, I realized something else that comes up. Yeah, a lot of hater this, hater that, haters.
On accent yake.
haters.
He always brings in his accent.
Haters kila time. And something else, something that removes us from the project. Big shout out to Vince. The tags. I think that's something that tumesema mara kadhaa. When rappers get into projects, haifikiri as a project and an experience.
It's a compilation.
In songs too naeka. That tag takes you from the experience of a song.
What's worse is when the artist introduces themselves again with the project.
Yeah.
You know who it is. Like, yeah, I know.
Tunasikia kazi yako. Lastly, nini? Mlifanyaje kuhusu Tsunami? Was it a Tsunami?
Why do you think I skipped it?
No, we Tsunami over that track.
Yeah.
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 Your two favorite rappers.
Pia nani ali
Skies by the ilikuwa
pia Skadi roga na Kingoso.
Yeah.
But
Is it like a
but nilimention hiyo kwa album yake hiyo hashtag hizi.
Nilifikiria afterwards, I think it might have come around the same time akiwa zone ya creating easy.
Awachana na hiyo hata kuna his famous cover nini? Akirap in English. Kuna vile it's he doesn't sound
he's not keeping it on hand.
Yeah, he doesn't keep it on hand. They're not. But when I get back to his, like what he's comfortable with, then you feel like so hata hiyo Tsunami ilikuwa 6 minutes yo.
Rapping. So, kama umesikiza Invisible Currency ya Khaligraph Jones kwa comment section, tuambie your views kuihusu. Tumeichambua, tumekuwa na 2 reviews for this one album. Ujue OG ni OG, ndio ujue. Tuambie, check out your part 1 kama hujaiona. Tuambie pia more views kuhusu the work depending on how you felt na how you feel kuhusu views zetu. Shukran sana kwa kuwatch. Consider ku-like na ku-subscribe. Asante sana.
Keep it 100.
Keep it 100.